when Kamala Harris pulled
Kamala.
Megan Thee Stallion, Kamala Harris. See, I don't my fault, y'all. When Kamala
the Indian
Harris
pronunciation
brought up, y'all know I'm a wrestling fan. It was a wrestler named Kamala, and that's who I think about all the time. But no,
hey, I'm a wrestling fan too, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Kamala Harris, when she brought Meg Thee Stallion on stage, to me that solidified what our culture is. Because you on a worldwide stage, this is what you bring to say, this is black people. I want black people's vote. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, so wait, so when Trump brought up Hulk Hogan on stage, is that what they represent? Racist.
Everybody a little racist. I mean,
I don't agree with that.
I
don't agree with that. But okay,
I mean, a little bit.
It's just even if I granted that is the case, it's not necessarily. Now you're saying that if you agree that black people aren't a monolith, to say that Kamala bringing Megs on stage means she's representing all black people. She's catering to a demographic. There is a demographic that's for that. You know what I'm saying? But it don't negate everything else. It's not. It doesn't. I think that people want to just, again, like being our own worst critic. It's like, how dare you bring up the twerking 20-year-old? It's like, now all black people are like this, and it's like, no, clearly there's black people that didn't like it, and then there's black people that did. So it's just, it proves that it works for some and not others. Even if you're a Trump voter, you might be like, fuck Hulk Hogan. You might. I don't know.
But okay, so let me say this though. Let me say this. So when you asked me about Hulk Hogan and however he feels, and you said, does that represent his, basically his people? You could say that a lot of people actually do, Caucasian people, whatever the race might be, identify with Hulk Hogan and his beliefs and all of that stuff and whatever it might be. So when you do bring Meg Thee Stallion on stage, and this is supposed to be something where we are putting our best foot forward, and you're using that as a representation, that's when I say, when you ask me, am I surprised? That wasn't her best foot forward.
Everybody highlighted it. It was just a rally. That was it. It wasn't the DNC. Let's not act like this was supposed to be the focal point of what everybody that wants to vote for her is supposed to look at. This was just a rally. So we got to keep that in mind.
When I say your best foot forward, when you're running for president, every rally is your best foot forward. Like every single opportunity you have to present yourself matters.
But you can't say that. You're energizing people at rallies. You're not. You want energy, and I think it's hard to disagree that Meg would bring energy. You want energy at the rallies. The DNC was very different than Meg Thee Stallion. Who they have? I don't want to speak out my ass. I don't remember, but the performances at the DNC was more accepting for a wider audience, for lack of better words. So are we just ignoring that because we just want to be like, why would you bring Meg Thee Stallion? Meg supported her. So
if we're gonna go with that, if we say it was about energy, why did it have to be Meg Thee Stallion? Could she not have brought? I'm gonna say J. Cole or somebody else who could bring energy.
That's not energy. That's your energy, which I agree with. The base, there's a big demographic of Black African Americans that vote for Democrats. That's the probably damn near the largest voting block for Democrats, to be completely honest, is Black women.
You proved your own point though. Listen, hold up. You proved the point against you though. If you're saying that she's catering to the large demographic of Black people that vote Democrat, and her goal or her way of doing that was to bring out Meg Thee Stallion, then that is a reflection of how the Black community is viewed. And it's not even just that, because this isn't just a one-off, right? Back in 2020, they had a an advertisement called "Get Your Booty to the Polls," and you know what it featured? Strippers. It featured strippers, and this was the propaganda that they wanted to use on the Black community so that we would go out and vote. Get your booty to the polls. And they had strippers getting there, doing little dances, and then talking about how important voting is while shaking ass. And I'll take it another step further. When they had the whole vaccine situation, who did they bring out? Oh, you look good once you vax that thing up. Excuse me? It's just, this is a reoccurring thing. Even if you think about Hillary back in, what was that, 2016, when she was on the Breakfast Club. Oh, what do you have in your purse?
I already
Oh,
got
I
the
have
black
hot
vote.
sauce. I have hot sauce in my bag. Are you just pandering? Is it working? See, this is a reoccurring issue of how they are viewing Black people. So that's what I'm saying. Like it very much so represents how they are viewing us as Black people by toning out Meg Thee Stallion.
But this is you highlighting when they target a certain demographic within Black folks and ignoring everything else that they do, which that isn't the focal point of their campaigns or most of what they do. These are moments in time that y'all are highlighting and ignoring everything else that happens prior to. Because the people that don't subscribe to Meg, the people that don't subscribe to hot sauce in my bag, the people that don't subscribe to strippers, all those people are probably already in tune with everything these people are saying because they're politically knowledgeable or in the know of what's happening outside of that. And then the people that aren't necessarily gonna listen to a Kamala rally, if they hear Meg Thee Stallion's gonna be on stage, they might tune in and then they might get some nuggets of that they might need to hear. But it was just debate.
So do you? Okay, so let me ask this question. I think this is good because I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. You're saying we only basically saw her trying to get a portion of the crowd, but she actually did work outside of that to get crowds who wouldn't have been into Meg Thee Stallion, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, my question is, why even jeopardize the Black image's damage more? I mean, introducing more potential harm to the Black community in that way? Because what it did for me was turn me off from her all the way. It actually made me where I'm like, this is how low you think of me. This is how little you think of me, that you think that this is going to make me say I'm voting for you because you. So,
but I think that's, and I'm not trying to insult you, but I think that's a testament to how strong you cared in the first place. The mistakes Kamala made as a Kamala voter, she made plenty of mistakes during her campaign. But I knew what she had to go against, and there was nothing that, it was only so little that could be done to make me feel any other way because of the choices we have. So bringing on Meg Thee Stallion, I'm like, I mean, I didn't need this, but maybe there's people that do, whatever. No harm, no foul. Again, this is my point. Everybody's like, you brought on Meg. Y'all didn't give me what her policies was. Give me what she had. Stevie Wonder. She has reputable people speaking for her. And it's like, I don't care about none of that. You had Meg Thee Stallion. That's telling me that you only are caring about the one person that don't fit into what you care about. And you're saying, well, since you made this one thing that I don't agree with, fuck you, because you think Black people are less than, even though 95% of everything you've done isn't in relation to this.
And that's where, and I think we go full circle. I think,
in my opinion,
I think we're going full circle though to the beginning of the conversation, because that's exactly what it is. It's that sour apple ruining the bunch. If we already are working so hard to present ourselves, you get to the point where you are running for president. Why do we have to bring that trash? She probably already would have had the vote that she tried to get with that.
Who's more trash of a human being, Hulk Hogan or Megan Thee Stallion? As a human being,
you said as a human being.
Yeah, like as a person, who's more of a trash person? Of course, we don't know these people, but based on what you know,
what do you think?
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Do you know?
I don't know enough about them.
That's what I was gonna say. If I don't know what you know about these people, so I know enough to know that Hulk Hogan is a trash as a person, based off the public knowledge of these two individuals. Hulk Hogan is more of a trash human being. He's fucked over friends, families, wives, kids, and colleagues, and is racist as fuck. So and Meg has lied. So I don't know who I can say is more trash of who I don't think it's hard for me to say who's more trash of a person.
But why would I care about Hulk Hogan? I don't care about what Hulk Hogan's doing, because he doesn't represent me and my son, my kids. That's not a representation of me. I'm talking about what's actually
Meg
being
isn't
represented.
either though. I think Kamala ran on a great, Kamala ran on a great platform with policies that probably benefit your kids and family. But you like Meg Thee Stallion. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if you want to go
again,
down that rabbit hole.
if we're gonna agree that nobody, I don't believe in a such thing as a perfect candidate. But if we're gonna be like, you brought on Meg Thee Stallion, but even though your policy is gonna benefit me and my potentially, I don't know your situation. But for people that may have wanted to vote for her, but they didn't like that. Your policies can benefit me, but you brought on Meg Thee Stallion. That doesn't make any sense. If you really care about your family and black folks.
But see, I think
if she has some policies, yeah. Go ahead.
The thing that I think we need to make sure we remember is that we have a unique situation where we are being judged we do have a microscope over us. We do. And I'm not going to pretend like we don't. So it goes back to what I've been saying. If we want to win the game, we have to play it a certain way. So yes, Trump could tote out a trashy Hulk Hogan, and it's not gonna sully the look of white people because they don't make their lowest denominator the face of their community. But because we have such a history and a backstory of doing that, making the lowest denominator the face of the community, it hurts us so much more. So that's why when we're having these conversations, I always want to bring it back to playing the game to win. And when we have people that I believe are ops, I believe Kamala or Kamala, however you say this woman's name, she was a whole op. Okay, her whole goal was to humiliate black women while not being a black woman. So, I really feel like making that comparison, it's just it's not gonna hold the water that it should. Right? It should be a level playing field where, if they're toting out their lowest denominator, then that's how they're viewed. And if we do it, then that's how it's an equal playing field. But that's just not the case. That is absolutely not the case. And so when we are constantly reaffirming every single stereotype, and it wasn't just Meg Thee Stallion, she toted out Glorilla as well, and they had to bleep out damn near every single word she had to say. When she was
that. I was like, y'all shouldn't have her perform if y'all gonna cut out every word. That was stupid.
So yeah. So Blunt Girly, I want to know your thoughts on this. So when it comes to how Kamala was, or I don't even. How she was representing us.
Girl, I did a video on this. I think it was my unpopular opinions about celebrities. Her campaign, it was such a joke. I'm not even really into politics. I didn't vote. I don't vote. I'm sorry. I didn't. But yeah, I cannot believe that she had all of those rappers, like the worst of the worst type of rap. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. Didn't she have like Sexy Red? I don't know. Glorilla. That's crazy. I never seen a president do that before. So yeah.
So that's our culture.
Yeah, exactly. And I like
that's our culture.
Shannon. Earlier, you had said
that's all y'all focus on.
You said that you wanted to be blunt about it and just say, unfortunately, yes, there's ugly sides that we have normalized in the Black community, and that's a part of it, unfortunately. So yeah.
So that's why.
Okay, let me ask.
They need to do that.
Let me ask one more question, because I want, my point on bringing that up, Logic, was just I was trying to prove that was our culture. But with what we were saying, do you think she would have had a high chance of winning had she not brought any of that out at all? Do you think she would have had a high chance of winning the black vote?
No. I don't think that mattered much. She won the black vote. She got majority of black people voting for her. If anything, she's got the second most votes of any Democratic candidate ever. So pretending like this is so, oh my God, embarrassing is just not attached to reality.
No, I'm just asking.
Outside of that, though, she's not good outside of the performances.
I was just asking if she would have still won. If you think she still would have won the black vote had she not brought them out? Like, was her bringing them out critical to her winning?
Oh, no. I don't think so. I think, but I do. I think there's a world where that brought more attention to her to people that wasn't paying attention. I think there's a world with that. Just like Beyonce, like we know her name carries a lot of weight. People are gonna just want to see if what Beyonce is attaching her name to. You know, I think there's a world where that it helped more than it hurt. I'm not saying there's not a single person that might have been turned off, but I think it helped more than hurt.
But see, that's the problem that I'm having is this idea that it takes a Meg Thee Stallion to get black people interested.
It don't. In y'all think it takes Meg Thee Stallion?
No, but that's what you just said. But that's what you just said, though.
No,
that her
I didn't say it takes.
That her bringing out. Wait, but this is what you said. That her bringing out Meg Thee Stallion and all these people piqued the interest of black people that weren't normally interested in politics. That's what you just said.
That's okay. That can be a separate conversation. He just asked, do you think she would have I don't not helping her, but do I think she would have got the votes without it or whatever? You know, a separate conversation is, should that be what drives people to pay attention to politics? We probably agree that it shouldn't. But the fact of the matter, just like I told you my utopia, the fact of the matter is some people is not paying attention to politics. And you have to be like, look who's aligning themselves with me, Meg Thee Stallion, Beyonce, look at what I got to say. That's just the reality. That's where we're playing the game right now. And people are using the game to their advantage. And I think y'all are holding her to a standard that nobody else has been held to for whatever reason, because celebrities endorsing presidents is nothing new. Period, on both sides. So I don't know why we're acting like this is new. And because she picked a popular black artist is like, how dare you? That doesn't make any sense. See, she's popular.
It's the one she picked. That's all it was.
The whole point.
I think she would have been if she would have brought J. Cole. People would. I'm not saying people wouldn't have been liked it, but I just don't. It just doesn't make sense to bring that up when you're trying to get energy. I don't know.
The whole thing,
to me, just strategy. To me, it's strategy. You know, you could not like it, but it's strategy. The point that I'm making,
though, is if you are trying to appeal to these black voters and your way of doing that,
a demographic of black voters,
but
not all.
Here's what I'm saying:
a specific demographic.
If your way of doing that is by bringing on ratchetness to pique their interest, what does that say about the black community?
A demographic of the black community. It says pay attention. It says that this demographic isn't paying attention. It says that a certain demographic.
And the only way to get their attention is by shaking ass. That's the problem. The only way to get their attention is shaking ass.
I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just what it is. I'm not saying I like it. And y'all are giving a pass to everybody else that's done the same thing. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like y'all ignoring everybody else. Everybody's done this. This isn't new. No,
celebrity endorsements are not new. I understand that. I understand that, but there's a big difference between a celebrity.
Who else did Kamala have on? Who did Kamala have that wasn't shaking it? Name me somebody. Who had Kamala? Who did Kamala have that was not Meg or Cardi?
Let me finish what I'm saying. There's a big difference between someone endorsing you from their platform, right? Me getting online and saying, I endorse this person versus, hey, can you come and actually stand on stage next to me and endorse me? There is a huge difference between the two. So when we talk about this, I'm talking about you are actively selecting the lowest denominator to appeal to the lowest denominator. And it's being broadcast on such a stage to the point where people are looking at black people like the only way that we can appeal to you niggas, and that's what they're thinking in their mind, the only way we can appeal to y'all is by shaking ass in your face. And I feel like that is such a slap in the face to us as black people.
I feel like that's a forced narrative.
It's not a forced narrative.
It is because it's not even 50% of the electorate as far as black folks. It's just a demographic. So
if that was the case, then they wouldn't have to do that. Why would I go out of my way to do this if I know that it's just
okay? Why don't you have a problem with her having Oprah come speak for her? Why aren't you complaining about Oprah? I do have a problem with
Oprah.
Okay, it's your personal feelings. Like you don't have to like Oprah, but her public perception generally isn't that negative. I'm not saying you might not like anybody that support her. You don't support Democrats, so of course, but you know, do internal critique. Like coming from my end, if you're somebody that's on the left, you for the most part, you don't have a problem with Oprah. For the most part, you don't have a problem with Beyonce. For the most part, you don't have a problem with Al Sharpton. For the most part, you don't have a problem with a lot of these people.
With Al Sharpton.
I'm saying again, you got to step out of how I'm talking about if you're on the other side of the aisle. That's what I'm saying. So that's y'all ignoring all of these people that are not Meg to just highlight Meg because there is a demographic. The same reason she goes on call me daddy, call her daddy. Young women, all the smoke, black men, Club Shay Shay, older black people. It's just like she's tackling a bunch of demographics, and y'all like Meg Thee Stallion as if she's not targeting a bunch of demographics. Because y'all don't care. It's just like, let me just attack the one thing I don't like.
Yeah, no, I think for me, the bigger issue is that because Dave Ramsey, I don't know if y'all know Dave Ramsey, the money guy.
The chef, right?
I remember.
No.
That's
Gordon. I'm thinking about Gordon.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, and I remember he opened the door, and a couple different people who are on the other side opened the door for Kamala to come by. And she didn't come by. And President Trump actually went to these places and had open dialogue. You know, they were able to ask the questions. So the places I watched, she wasn't at the places I watched. So that's for me why a lot of this stuff I wouldn't have caught. It's just gonna be the stuff in the headlines that I'm actually seeing. But again, I would have had if she would have went on it, I would have found it.
That campaign made a lot of mistakes. I'm not here to cape for the campaign at all. I'm just saying where I think that there's a little bit of unfairness in some of the critiques. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she ran a perfect campaign by any means.